Okay.
you you went to the neighbors and you learned about cars. And how old were you then?
Well, I'm going to say about seven or 8
Okay.
years old, second or third grade. And,
Okay.
and then that graduated into painting the cars. And if I liked the car, I would say, okay, I did this artwork. If I do this, I'll do it for free, but you have to buy the stuff. But I want to drive your car for 1.3 hours or 2.5 hours. And they would mostly agree, but not in the neighborhood, because they didn't want anybody, and neither did I, to think that we were boyfriend and girlfriend. I don't want to go out with you. I want to go out with your car. And that's essentially how I learned to drive. By the time I got my license legally, I had driven every major hot rod and muscle car that there was. They weren't called muscle cars at the time, but I mean, what I could do with a GTO and an SS, ooh, and they were very good about it. They thought it was hysterical because most girlfriends didn't want to drive. And so that was it. That artwork also led me into professional racing, because I learned how to paint and do fancy colors. And, if people remember in the day, Mattel had this thing for the Hot Wheels. And you would have this thing on the Hot Wheel thing on Wednesdays, this big thing with the snow, Don, the Snake Prudhomme, Gene Snow, the Snowman, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, well, they would crunch those things up on Wednesday, and they'd have to go somewhere by Friday. Well, on Thursday and Friday morning, we could fix them and send them on the road. So I learned a lot about that. And then that was okay. That was great. I went to the drag races, learned all about that. But the day I remember the hearing, and met my first jet car, all those pistons could take a back seat. I was just fascinated. And essentially, long story short, ended up racing for several years, a J46 jet dragster with a fellow by the name of Doug Rose, the Green Mamba. And that was what I did for a living. My parents thought I needed a psych eval because I gave up my job as the general manager of Tonotapes division. I was part of Universal Recording Corporation. We used to do all the sound and everything for the Grammy Awards. I mean, this was a big deal. And I quit to run away to the jet car circuits.